Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, happy to introduce our Houston legend. Today we have Sam Peña. We are so happy to have him here, and we want to recognize him and the entire Houston Fire Department for their many, many accolades, their service, their dedication, and their sacrifices. Welcome and congratulations for being one of our Houston legends.
Thank you, Dr. Murillo. What a privilege to be here with you today with the CEO of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And thank you for the opportunity.
Well, it is so important that we recognize people who've made significant contributions to this city. And you, of course, are chief among them. And so we're happy that you are here. I know you've had a tremendous impact on our city, which has been very evident from the outpouring of support from individuals, organizations, people throughout the city who've had the privilege to work with you and the Houston Fire Department. So many things that they have said, including a unanimous conversation with members of City Council who've all said that they've enjoyed their time working with you. So let's start with that and say congratulations to you for the sacrifices, for the time, and for really representing Latinos especially in this city, which is the fourth largest in the country. So we'll start with congratulations and thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Murillo. And look, it's been a privilege and an honor really to serve the community of Houston. And there's a special pride in being the first Latino to hold this office in this position. It is the third largest municipal fire department in the country. But what I'm most proud of is really the relationships I've made with community members, the residents of this great city, and with everybody that really we had an opportunity to interact in order to deliver emergency service and help to our community.
Well, and on that note, speaking of it being such a large city, I was happy to know that last year you received a tremendous honor by your colleagues across the country as the Metropolitan Fire Chief of the Year. That is a tremendous honor, and you and the fire department worked very hard, so congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. And look, I accepted that honor last year. I accepted it on behalf of the men and women of the Houston Fire Department and the city of Houston and the residents that we serve, because it's them that allowed me this opportunity to show what we can bring to the table, right, in terms of professionalism, in terms of attention to the needs of the community. And so being recognized by my peers was really a humbling experience, and it's been one of the pinnacles of my career.
And well deserved. And as you said, to the men and women who every day make the sacrifice of putting their lives on hold and family matters on hold, because this is a 24/7 job for them, as we know it. And so we want to thank them for everything that they do every day, and how fortunate we are to have them as part of this great city. Let's move on now to some of the things that you all have accomplished during your tenure. What are some of the highlights?
Well, some of the things that I'm most proud of accomplishing, we spoke about the community relationships and the interactions with the community. We were very instrumental in developing our personnel. I'm very proud to say that we have made essentially 4 fire chiefs that have gone on to serve in other departments that have been part of my command staff. They got the experience and the diversity of experience needed to go on and lead their own organization. So I'm very proud of that. But I'm most proud of what we've been able to do for the health and safety of our firefighters. We have, through grants, through donations, through funding from the city, we've been able to implement certain programs that were well needed, right? We have the vehicle exhaust systems in every one of our 94 fire stations. We started with 0. Now all of our fire stations have those. We went out and sought donations to put commercial gear washers in there in the station so they can launder their gear, because cancer is still the #1 killer of firefighters. And so having that availability to take care of themselves is going to make an impact. And just last year we were able to secure a $2 million grant to provide cancer screenings for our firefighters free of charge, no questions asked. It was a heavy lift, right, because we're competing with every other fire department in the country for these FEMA grants. But I thought it was important for us to dedicate ourselves to getting and securing those funds for the health and safety of our firefighters that do a great job each and every day. They serve our community selflessly, and I want them to have a long and prosperous retirement, right? When they retire. So that is probably the most proud moment of my 8 years here. And I think I've been the longest serving fire chief in the history of the department, and we've done a lot of good things. Very proud of that. Certainly, we always need more, but there's not always enough money available for us to do so. But it's incremental, right? As long as we're moving in the right direction, I think we're going to get to where we need to be.
Now, you mentioned the cultivation, the development of the team and how they've gone on to other prominent leadership roles. What advice do you have to the young just entering the fire department and the future of the fire department? What advice, what would you like to share with them?
Listen, whether you're a 1-year firefighter or a 30-year firefighter, I think we need to always prioritize training and development, because that is the basis to safely do the work that they do each and every day. And the other thing is really serve with compassion, right? To serve the community with leading by example, with dedication and with commitment to doing the hard work in order to be able to safely deliver the service that the communities expect from us. And look, we are a very active system. We run about 11 to 1,200 calls for service each day. They never know what they're responding to, right? But they manage to find a solution to those problems. That comes from constant training, from dedication, and from leading by example that I guess defines what the fire service is about.
Very important. And also, it's not an easy job.
Right.
It's one that is very challenging, all-consuming. And I'm sure during your 8-year plus tenure, you've had challenges.
Right.
What stands out in your mind as a challenge that you were able to overcome and have a great ending of?
Well, look, I've been here 8 years now, almost 8 years. And throughout those 8 years, we've had significant financial and political headwinds, right, that we've had to work through and with. But I am very, very proud of the things that we have accomplished in spite of those obstacles, because there's always a way to work around if we are serving with compassion and with dedication for doing the right thing.
Yes.
We managed to replace over 50% of our emergency response vehicles. We implemented a water response team. You know, we flood here in Houston. Every time it rains, we have those incidents. During Harvey, which was about 7 months after I got here, we didn't have any high water vehicles. The boats were unserviceable. We didn't have any trained response personnel. If you remember, they had a flood just the year before that, and there was a tragic incident where 2 people died. And so I committed not to have that happen again. And so since then, now we have 15 high water vehicles in the system that we use to respond. We've replaced and refurbished all our boats. We have 140 members in our water strike team that we've trained and equipped to be able to augment the staffing that we have.
Yes.
Because we need to prepare, and we need to fund, and we need to dedicate ourselves to meeting the need, the expected risk in our community. So very proud of that. We also implemented a wildland firefighting team. And you're thinking, hey, this is Houston, right? Concrete jungle, why do you need a wildland firefighting team? Well, during these storms, one of the things that we used most often was our saw teams, the ones that were going out and cutting the trees that had fallen, the debris that was on the road, and making a safe passage for not only emergency vehicles, but for the vital services and for the commute of our citizens. So yes, everything that we have done has been for a purpose. We would like for it to happen tomorrow, right, when we started today. But it just takes some perseverance, it takes some dedication, and it takes some love for this city to be able to work through a lot of those obstacles.
Yes, and many obstacles have been achieved. I know that you've been very active with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and many other organizations in this city. For us, it's been a pleasure to be able to partner with the city with our city council members, mayors, etc., and to connect our corporate partners especially. I do believe that for Houston to continue to thrive and to do so many other things, that it will require the private sector.
Right.
And we saw that with one of our sponsors, Enterprise, and the connection that we were able to make with the Houston Fire Department. Tell us what that resulted into.
Well, look, I'm gonna brag on you for a little bit, because it was through your opening that door with Enterprise that we were able to achieve a vehicle lease program for the City of Houston's inspection section, the Life Safety Bureau. They replace 105 vehicles each and every year. They take the old ones, sell them, we get brand new ones. So our personnel are working with serviceable equipment that is new, that has all the safety features, and it portrays the right image of the fire department, right? Because that's part of the whole service aspect. But look, it's about relationships, right? And it's about honest relationships and meaningful relationships. And I am so blessed to have, one with you in the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, because it's through those relationships that we're able to leverage and serve the community better, right? The whole private-public partnership is something that government needs to explore some more. There's a lot of opportunities, but it starts with relationships.
And the hope is, as you mentioned, so many needs in a city this large, which the population continues to grow and the needs continue to grow and budgets get smaller and tighter. Right. And so we're going to continue to need some creative thinking, and those private partnerships will continue to be important. I want to wrap up with the opportunity for you to let people know perhaps what's on your mind in terms of what is next for you, your family. Certainly, a lot of Houstonians, again, are very appreciative of your work, as are we, which is why we've named you as one of our Houston legends. But the question is, what's next?
Well, look, let me just start by saying that it's been the honor of my life to be able to serve the city of Houston. And I couldn't be more proud of the trust that the community placed in me for these last 8 years to be able to serve as their fire chief. And I leave with a heart full of gratitude, right, for the experiences and some of the challenges that we experienced, right? But we're better people for that, and I certainly am a better person for that. As I move into my next chapter, it's wide open. I know that my heart is in serving, and I've been doing this for 30 years. Before that, I was in the Air Force. So the heart to serve is in me. But I'm going to take some time and reconnect with my wife, because over these last 8 years, this job has really consumed most of my time. So I think I owe it to her, who's really been my rock, to spend some time with her, and then we're going to figure out what the next best step is going to be.
I always enjoy visiting with our Houston legends, and one of the questions that I ask is what you would like your legacy to be.
Well, look, I believe that we've done a lot of good things to set a lot of solid foundations for the service that we're providing for our community. We talked about some of those, right, the specialized groups. But cancer continues to be the #1 killer of firefighters in the industry. And we have worked hard to implement some things and equipment and processes into the organization. And if 15 years from now, Dr. Murillo, if cancer isn't the #1 killer of Houston firefighters, then we would have done a good thing.
Thank you so much. We have enjoyed working with you and the entire Houston Fire Department. It is so important, and it is work that certainly is work that is not for everyone. It is a very tall order, and we wish you and your family all of the best. And again, we want to say thank you and congratulations for being named as a Houston legend by the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Dr. Murillo, thank you from the bottom of my heart, not only for your leadership, but most importantly for your friendship and for what you do for our community and representing us well.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Houston Legends.